Hello, today I'm going to show you how to use a wood burning tool to personalise various different timber products, such as this kitchen turntable, which I'll be doing for you today. Wood burning is a really great hobby craft because you can, basically any piece of timber that you have, you can personalise with designs or patterns or wording, anything that you like at all. So there's not too many things that we need to do our little wood burning project. Obviously the two most important things are our piece of timber that we're using, and today I have a Lazy Susan turntable which I'm going to be burning onto, and the other most important thing that we need is our wood burning tool. Now this is not a soldering iron, it is not the same thing. You do specifically want a wood burning tool. I bought mine, it came in a little wood burning kit, which I bought from my local hardware store, Bunnings. This one has lots of different tips in it, so it can actually do different patterns and imprints and things like that. As I said, it is a very specific wood burning tool, it's not a soldering iron. It wasn't very expensive, I think it was about $30, $35, something like that. So very easy to get from a hardware store. The other things that I'm going to be using, I have some tracing paper, or this is actually I think a wax paper, something that you can use as tracing paper. I have a couple of pencils, one just a normal sort of HB, and also a soft, so this is a 4B. You want something that's soft so that we can do our transfer. I have an eraser for any lines that I miss at the end. I have some painter's tape, or you can use masking tape, and I also have the image that I'm going to be transferring onto my timber surface. Now there are two ways that you can transfer an image. You can freehand if you want to write something yourself, or you can do it the way that I'm going to show you, which is transferring an image that you've created yourself. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and I obviously have made sure that it's the size that I want it to be, and I have taken a piece of tracing paper. I have traced my little artwork there. I've also then turned it over, and with my soft pencil I have gone over those lines again on the back because that's what's going to transfer onto the timber. So it's got pencil on both sides. I'm going to take just a little bit of tape, and I'm going to arrange my tracing paper in the spot where I want to burn onto the wood, and I'm going to want to do it right in the middle of this turntable. So I'm going to make sure that it's sitting where I want it to be, and I'll tape it into place. And I'm going to take my sharp sort of normal pointed pencil. As I said, this one is an HB, and I'm going to go over my artwork, over those lines fairly firmly, so that I'm leaving a pencil mark onto the timber underneath. And of course you can always lift up the sides to make sure that you are indeed leaving a mark on the timber, but I'm going to trace over that so that we've transferred it onto the wood. So I've traced over my artwork, and I can now peel back the tape and my tracing paper, and I have a very faint line drawing of the artwork that I've traced onto the timber, enough that I can see where I'm going to be burning. And it doesn't need to be too dark, you just need to be able to see where it's going, so that when you're burning you know where to move your tip. So now that that's ready, and I've had my heat tool sitting on, it does get very, very hot, obviously, because it burns into timber. So keep it away from small children, animals, things like that. And you will normally find that it will come with a rest, so that you can sit it on there, and therefore it's not touching any other surfaces. But do be very careful with it, it is extremely hot. Now I am left-handed, so I don't know whether that makes it easier or harder for me, but at least the way I'm filming, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I am actually holding the burner like I would hold a pencil or a pen. It does take some getting used to. Obviously, when you hold, well, the way I hold a pencil, I'm usually holding it right down at the end of the tip, and I've got most control there. With the wood burner, I obviously can't hold it that close because I'd be holding onto the tip. So it does take a little bit of practice working with the burner, getting used to holding it and getting the right lines and the right pressure. So I do suggest that if you're doing a very special piece, that you practice on some scrap bits of timber or pieces that don't matter as much until you get used to the feel of holding the burner in your hand. And I'm using the sort of pencil tip that came with the wood burning kit that I purchased that I'm going to be burning with. And now when it comes to the pressure on the timber, I always start light because I can go over it if I need to, but if I touch and push down really hard, it's just going to burn a hole right into the timber. So I am going to be gentle to start with, and as I said, I can come back over. And then quite simply, as if I was writing it again, I'm going to do so with the burning tool. I go nice and steady. I like to sometimes also support the tool with two hands, just so that I've got a steady hand going, and then I'm very slowly going to go over the lines that I've made. So I've gone over all the lines of my trace drawing, and as you can see, it now says made with love. And when I was doing it, as I said, I went nice and slowly without too much pressure. When I needed to, I could go back over the lines I'd already done to make them a little bit darker if I needed to. And what you can do then, especially if you've traced something on, if you have missed any of the lines a little bit, that's what the eraser is for, and you can erase any pencil lines, and obviously that's why I use pencil on here, because it does come off again. So you can erase over it anywhere that you need to, and you'll have yourself a timber piece which is been inscribed, and obviously that is permanent, and is now a beautiful piece that I can put into my kitchen, and it looks great. So you can do that, as I said, on almost any sort of timber product that you want to use. You might want to do photo frames. I obviously do them on coat hangers, so I do bride and groom. You can put names, you can put dates, anything like that, and there you have it. Wood burning.